The fire! The scrolls are burning! We must escape! Quickly! The statues are falling!
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are traveling back more than 2,000 years to uncover the incredible story of a kingdom that once stood as one of the greatest centers of power, culture, and knowledge in the ancient world. Its rulers built magnificent temples, breathtaking palaces, and one of history's most famous libraries. They transformed a small hilltop fortress into a shining capital that rivaled the greatest cities of its age. Yet, despite its wealth, military strength, and remarkable achievements, this kingdom eventually disappeared into history. This is the fascinating story of the rise and fall of Pergamon. Long before Pergamon became a mighty kingdom, it was nothing more than a fortified settlement resting high above the fertile valleys of western Anatolia in what is now modern-day Turkey. Its location was nearly perfect. Surrounded by steep hills and overlooking rich farmland, Pergamon could easily defend itself while controlling important trade routes connecting the Aegean coast with the interior of Asia Minor. Although small compared to famous cities like Athens or Ephesus, Pergamon possessed one priceless advantage: its strategic position. Everything changed after the death of Alexander the Great in 323 BC. Alexander had conquered one of the largest empires the world had ever seen, stretching from Greece to Egypt and all the way into India. However, he died unexpectedly without naming a clear successor. Almost immediately, his powerful generals began fighting over control of the empire. These brutal conflicts lasted for decades and reshaped the ancient world. One of Alexander's trusted officers, Lysimachus, gained control over much of Western Asia Minor. He needed a secure place to store his enormous treasury, containing thousands of talents of silver and gold. He chose Pergamon because of its nearly impregnable hilltop fortress. To guard this treasure, Lysimachus appointed a loyal officer named Philetaerus. This single decision would change history forever. In 282 BC, Philetaerus decided to betray Lysimachus. Rather than returning the vast treasure, he declared his independence and took control of Pergamon. With immense wealth now in his possession, he began strengthening the city's defenses, improving its economy, and building alliances with neighboring powers. Although he never officially declared himself king, he laid the foundation for a dynasty that would transform Pergamon into one of the greatest kingdoms of the Hellenistic age. After Philetaerus died, his adopted nephew Eumenes I continued expanding the young state. He defeated the Seleucid Empire in battle and secured Pergamon's independence. This victory proved that the small kingdom could successfully challenge far larger rivals. The kingdom's confidence grew, and so did its ambitions. The true golden age began under Attalus I. Facing repeated invasions by fierce Celtic tribes known as the Galatians, Attalus achieved a series of stunning military victories. These victories protected Western Anatolia and earned him enormous prestige throughout the Greek world. Following his success, Attalus became the first ruler of Pergamon to officially adopt the title of king. His victory was celebrated through magnificent works of art, including the famous Dying Gaul sculpture, one of the greatest masterpieces of ancient Greek art. Rather than mocking defeated enemies, the sculpture portrayed the Galatian warrior with dignity and courage, reflecting the artistic ideals of the time. As Pergamon expanded, its rulers realized that military power alone could not guarantee greatness. They invested enormous resources into education, architecture, science, religion, and culture. The city itself became a masterpiece. High upon the Acropolis stood magnificent royal palaces overlooking the valleys below. Massive defensive walls protected the city from attack. Beautiful temples honored Greek gods and goddesses, while wide public squares bustled with merchants, philosophers, artists, and travelers from across the Mediterranean. Perhaps Pergamon's greatest architectural achievement was its enormous theater. Built into the steep hillside, it remains one of the steepest ancient theaters ever constructed. Thousands of spectators could gather to watch dramas, music, political speeches, and religious ceremonies while enjoying breathtaking views across the surrounding countryside. Even more impressive was the Great Altar of Pergamon. Built during the 2nd century BC, the altar featured gigantic marble carvings depicting the legendary battle between the Olympian gods and the giants. The sculptures displayed remarkable movement, emotion, and detail. Every figure appeared almost alive, making the monument one of the finest achievements of Hellenistic art. Pergamon was also home to one of the greatest libraries in the ancient world. While Alexander